What's going on, everybody? Maul the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. And today, folks, we are looking at Ultimate Spider-Man Annual number 1. Finally, folks, we're seeing the first annual of Ultimate Spider-Man. We've looked at the first 82 issues, and now we finally have gotten to the first annual. I don't know why they took so long to come out with an annual for this series, but we're going to be seeing Spider-Man, and he's going to be teaming up with Kitty Pryde in this issue. Kitty Pryde, who is also a member of the X-Men, so that's pretty cool. We saw earlier in this series that Kitty Pryde had a huge crush on Spider-Man, and so we'll see if that plays into detail here. We're going to be looking at both of the lives of Peter Parker, and we're going to be seeing Kitty Pryde as well. And what's unique is that both of them are very similar in the way that they are. As we're going to soon find out, we see that Kitty Pryde is in the danger room here. She's all dressed up like she's in this medieval danger room scenario facing a dragon, and the fire doesn't do any harm to her because she can phase through things. And we see that she was able to save herself. Kitty Pryde is going to be accompanied by Colossus and Nightcrawler here, but it looks like Kitty Pryde is not in the mood to train in the danger room. Something is on her mind, and we see here she even says, "Kurt, you're cute when you're a colossal uber geek," and Colossus says, "Cute is good." Meanwhile, we see Spider-Man is in the midst of a battle with Rhino here. I mean, Rhino, he's a super monster freakazoid, as we see here. He's tearing up the city. Spider-Man has a lot on his hands here. He's like, wow, I can't believe the AI technology on his Rhino suit. It's impressive. And he says, I wish I could have that enough gadgets on myself, but I'm not a billionaire. All of a sudden, we see Rhino hurl Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is thrown right into this window, crashes right in front of everybody, and he's, oh, good. The army shows up. He said, great, I have to save the army now. So he hops back on the Rhino here, and he's going to use this stick, and he jams it into the back of Rhino. He plops off one of the pieces of armor. He sees that there's a little thing that he can touch here with this steel crate, and that's exactly what he does. As we see, he pokes it, and boom, and then boom, boom, boom. His suit it just completely disintegrates, completely backfires, and he plummets to the ground. And the army now is going to collect the body of Rhino here. We see that one of the soldiers says that he needs to come in for questioning, but Spider-Man is not in the mood for questioning as he swings off. Now let's go back to look at Kitty Pryde here. She's at Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, and she tells in her mind that she thinks that she is actually the loser of the school. And she said, look, there's all kinds of mutants here, and like Wolverine, but I'm the odd man out. And what's on Kitty Pryde's mind is the fact that she and Bobby Drake used to be an item. They were thinking about becoming a couple, but Bobby Drake communicated to her that he only wants to be friends with her, so she's all upset. Now let's go look again at Peter Parker. So that's what this issue does. It goes back and forth between Peter Parker and Kitty Pryde here. We see that Peter is thinking the same things. He says, man, I am such a loser. If only I could tell people that I'm Spider-Man, the girls would come to me and I would be the cool guy. He notices Mary Jane, but Mary Jane is going to even walk right past Peter Parker and sits with other people here. Peter Parker gets up and walks away. So Jean Grey is going to have a conversation with Kitty Pryde here. We see that Kitty Pryde's upset. She wants to just talk with Bobby Drake, but Jean Grey, being older and wiser, tells Kitty Pryde that Bobby is not worth it, that there are plenty of other guys that she can go after. And she's, well, I just like them. I'm in love with them. But, you know, she's not really in love with them. And so as Peter Parker, after school, is at home, he's in the basement, and he's reading all these articles about Spider-Man. All of a sudden, he gets a phone call. It's an unknown number, and It looks like the X-Men has set up Kitty Pryde to call Peter Parker. Now, the X-Men know the identity of Spider-Man, and so we see here that she's going to give Peter a call and say, "Hi, who is this? This is Peter Parker." "Oh, Kitty." He said, do you remember me?" He said, "How did you get this number?" "Information." "Oh." And then what we're going to see here is she's like, "What are you doing like after school tomorrow?" And he said, "I don't know." And he said, "Would you like to, hang out after school?" He said, "With the X-Men?" He said, "No, no, just me." He said, "Like for fun?" "Yeah." "Really?" "Yeah." Yeah, yeah. "Really?" "Yeah." It's a back and forth. "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And Kitty Pryde says, "I don't have a girl. You don't have a girlfriend, do you?" He said, "No, no." And so it's like really awkward at first. He said, "I used to have a girlfriend, but not anymore." And he said, "Okay, well, I'll see you at after school at Midtown High. We'll meet there." So they hang up. And so then he looks up the X-Men, starts looking at pictures of Kitty Pryde. He's like, she is cute. So after school lets out, sure enough, Peter Parker meets up with Kitty Pryde, and she's going to say, "So, did you have, like any plans?" And he said, "No. Do you have any?" And she said, "No, not really. What do people do after school?" Well, here's an example right here. Is this guy gets a wedgie, and he's like, "Well, come on, I'll show you what we do." So they went to the food court here at the mall. She's like, "Wow, a corn dog on a stick." And she's like joking around. They're having a good time. And then Flash Thompson and Kong are going to cause trouble here with Peter Parker being the bullies that they are. And he says, you can mop the floor with that tool." He said, "I could, I know, but if I do show my strength, then there's going to be 10 years of hell because people are going to know that I'm Spider-Man and I just can't do that." And she's like, "Wow, I'm just so surprised that you're able to keep it all in, that you don't share your secret." And he said, "I know, but I'm living with my Aunt May. It would be too much for her to find out, and a secret is a secret. I want to keep it that way. And it kind of freaks me out that so many people know my secret identity." And so they continue to talk. Flash Thompson gives them more crap. He said, "Can we go somewhere that they're not?" He said, "Yeah, let's go." So they go up to this rooftop, the beautiful sunset here. They're looking out at the horizon here with all the buildings. They're having a good moment when all of a sudden Kitty Pryde says to Peter, "Hey, so have you ever thought about, having a girlfriend that maybe has powers that could take care of herself?" But then she instantly regrets it. She tries to go back underground. He said, "Oh, idiot, why did I even say that? I fought Magneto for goodness sake. What's your damage?" And then she pops back up and says, "Sorry, I did that." He said, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm just a spaz." He said, "That was insanely forward of me. I'm sorry." He said, "No, no, you had a good point." He said, "I think that's cute of you." He said, "You think I'm cute?" He said, "Yeah." And they're about to kiss when boom, they hear an explosion. Peter's like, "I gotta go suit up as Spider-Man. You stay here." He said, "Look, I can take care of myself. I want to join you." He said, "But you might get hurt." He said, "Look, I can do this." She sticks her hand through his chest, and Spider-Man's like, "Okay, come along." It looks like Shocker is back in town and he's making a rummage of the place here as he's blowing up cars. We see that Kitty Pryde steps right in the way. It looks like Shocker can't do anything to Kitty Pryde here. And she said, if I were you, I would not look behind you. But you see that he does. He runs away. He runs into a web and he is stuck right there for the police to collect. And she says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Spider-Man." And people start clapping. And she's like, "See, they like you. So cute, shall we?" And they swing off. So it looks like they're having a pretty good day, a pretty good date, I would say. And she said, "Well, Indiana Jones, you certainly have forgotten how to show a lady a good time. Yeah, you're something. You're supposed to say I'm something all right until I get my $5,000 back. You're getting more than you bargained for." "No, nothing." "Wow, you outgeeked me there." "Well, I'm sure it won't be the last time." All of a sudden, we see the X-Jet shows up, the Blackbird. They're ready to take Kitty Pryde home. He's like, "Oh crap, my ride's here. I gotta go." And he's like, like to do this again? He said, why? Would you? He said, yeah, that'd be great. He said, were you about to kiss me? He said, because I was going to kiss you until I had to go, but then they start continuing to talk, and then they kiss, folks. Peter Parker kisses Kitty Pryde here. So it looks like a relationship is starting to form here between Peter Parker and Kitty Pryde. That's pretty unique here. She floats back up into the jet. She promises to email Peter. They're going to talk through email as well as maybe phone call. Peter gets back to his basement here. He's going to email right away, but it looks like Kitty beat him to the punch here. No, he notices that there's an email from her already, and so here we go, folks. It looks like Peter has another love interest in his life, and it just so happens to be Kitty Pryde. And so that's really unique, folks. I did not expect that at all, but that's pretty cool. It's good to see Peter Parker having some romance in his life. And so go ahead now and give me a like on this video if you have not already. Love to see you comment down below and see your comments as well. What you think about the new relationship that's kind of springing up here between Peter and Kitty Pryde. And as always, folks, I will see y'all in the next one.